Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is John. I'm a full-time eBay reseller based in Melbourne, Australia. I've done my packing, it's been a good weekend, and it's nice to see sales ticking back up again. Hopefully that's also been your experience for the weekend just gone by. I want to talk to you guys about listing items every single day, specifically how many you need to list every single day. You'll hear people say 10 a day, 5 a day, aim for 200 a day. Where should you sit and what can you sustain? More often than not, when somebody is trying to figure out that number, it means they don't have a rhythm going. It means that they're probably small or big and wanting to grow more but not sure how. Most people who are larger sellers or even smaller sellers with a rhythm don't tend to ask that question anymore because they have a routine. They know how many items they can list, and for the most part, they are niche sellers who already know how many items they can list in an hour because most items are quite similar. And so there's a system, there's a bit of a rinse and repeat happening over there. But for someone like you who is thinking about how many items you should list every day, bear in mind, you're a small seller. I don't say that to make you feel small, because in the grand scheme of things eBay, I too am a small seller. There are sellers who do millions of dollars on eBay, and I am nowhere close. Neither are you. What we can do though is figure out how many items we can list with the time that we have. So that's the first thing. Work out how much time you can, in a disciplined manner, set aside every single day or every single week, and make sure you commit to that. If your time is fixed, the amount of listings you do can be, maximized to the time that you allocate. So for example, if you allocate an hour a week to do listing, and at the start you only do 5 listings, that's okay. If you're able to improve somehow to get to 7, 8, 9, and 10, you'll come to realize that with practice, you've gotten faster, more efficient. You are more comfortable letting the photos be the way they are, as opposed to checking them after every single shot. Some people do that, and that is a time waster. You might find efficient ways to copy and paste descriptions because you recognize that unique descriptions no longer matter, or you recognize that your buyers don't care for them. Little things that are unique to you. You may find also that as you start to sell certain items, you may like them more than others. And as those items that you like more filter into your listing time, shifting away from items that you don't like, you will also list faster then. I've said for you will find. And that's the truth. You will only be able to do what you can do, that you see to do. So stop trying to figure out how many listings you should do, 5, 10. I'm not going to tell you what the number is. Because quite frankly, I have no knowledge of what your situation is. And it doesn't make sense for me to dictate that to you. But what I do want you to do is be disciplined to set aside time to list. So let's assume you already do that. You have a set time to list. What's next? Well, you list what is not currently in stock. You list items that your buyers are more likely to buy in conjunction with other items already listed. Many eBay buyers will click view sellers' other items and scroll. Do you want them to scroll and find something else that they might buy with some items that you already have listed? That works really well if you're a niche store. But even if you're a general store, there's a tone to your shop, isn't there? I mean, if you are someone who sells antiques and suddenly you start selling some new, cheap, random things, buyers will get a bit confused. But if your tone is antique and you've got antiques lying around, list more antiques. And those buyers who are looking for something that is antique will generally filter down to the rest of the antiques, leading to combined postage sales. That's another motivation. Finally, in recognizing that we are small sellers, know that if you pick a number that's too high, you have to also keep the inventory to keep that number up. If you sell 100 items a month, you have to list 100 items to then replenish your store back to the original point at the beginning of that month. There's a chance that if you keep listing consistently in a set time every single week, you will find that your sales will also increase month on month. That needs to also be matched with an increase in listing. So if you're not creating more time to list and you're not becoming more efficient at listing, you're not going to keep those sales up anyways. So then if you find that your sales start going down again, back to an amount that you can manage, that's a capacity thing. It has nothing to do with the algorithm. It has nothing to do with your listing number. It's all to do with the fact that you as a business cannot sustain that growth. And that happens to all of us. I know on YouTube, people generally tell all the things that they do well. They will say, I did this many sales, this many packages, yada, yada, yada. But the fact is, all of us are not machines. We go through periods where we don't sustain our growth. And those are periods where we recalibrate. We work out, hey, how do I set aside more time to list because I want to keep up this outcome. I want to keep bringing the results in. So don't get disheartened. That's all I'm trying to say. Don't feel like you have to keep up to all these standards in order to do sales. If you want to do as well as a lot of the other bigger guys, then sure, aspire for those standards. But bear in mind, most of them grow, hire staff, grow, hire staff, grow, hire staff, until they have 3, 4, 5 people working the same job to just fulfill the orders. And that's not you. I've only got one full-timer. So when thinking about how many items you can list a day, focus on your capacity, be disciplined with the time that you set aside to list. Think about items that buyers want to see in your shop. I hope this helps. Of course, there are many, many more things we can talk about with listing, but we'll start with these 3. Work on that. Let me know how you go. Until next video, take care. Happy reselling. Bye.